Hello Virgo, thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Alright, going to do relationship first, single second, and oracle cards come out as needed. Okay, I feel like we just need two, and I'm getting they're both for your partner. Okay, just for the oracle cards, that is. Now, I find this very intriguing. You seem to be doing well through this whole situation. I'm going to say that right up front. But what I find interesting is your partner's the one kicking this off. They have ideas. They're taking action on ideas. They're moving forward. And you might already see this going. This might be a pattern with certain situations with your partner. It might be certain type of hobbies or certain type of interests where they start off gung-ho. They're ready to go. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. But what's coming next is the Knight of Wands. Because it kind of like, it gets going. It goes well. Then it kind of crescendos. And I feel like that's kind of it. I feel like it's going to start off, they got a lot of energy, it's going to go for a minute, it's going to crescendo, and that's it. Now, I feel like you're already aware of this pattern. If this is hitting with you, I feel like you're already aware of this. And you got the Star card going into the Empress card. You're very hopeful. You want this to work out for them. You want this to succeed. I guess you kind of read it this way, but you want this to succeed. You do. You do. You got the hope. This card comes first. You're optimistic. You're like, I hope this works. I'm all behind it. You're cheering them on. You're literally cheering them on. I feel like, well, you do have the challenge card of the Nine of Pentacles, but I feel like you're still cheering them on either way. But I feel like when you're coming into the Empress mode, it's kind of like, all right, I see where this is going, and it's okay. And I feel like you're kind of like that moment. It's kind of like, I see where this is going, and that's okay. I'm not going to get upset about it. There's nothing to get upset about. I knew this was coming. I was hoping it was going to go better than this, but I kind of knew this was going to happen. And I'm getting the Nine of Pentacles kind of like trying to reap the rewards of trying to salvage what you can of the situation. Whatever this is, I feel like you're trying to salvage the situation for yourself as best as you can. But you're seeing where it's going. So if there was some money spent on this situation, I feel like you're already looking into like, what can we sell back or resell to someone else to get some of this money back? I kind of feel like that's where you're going right off the bat, because you're like, yeah, is that how that? Yeah, that's how that feels. Because I see you seeing this, and I don't see you saying anything. You're just loving your partner. You're wishing for the best, you're hoping for the best, but you're kind of like, I know where this is going. I know where this is going, and I'm just going to let it happen. Because I don't want to, like, you seem to be in the spot where you don't want to be a naysayer, you don't want to pop their balloon. If there's some money spent on it, I feel like, at first you're very optimistic, like, hey, maybe this can work, maybe this time is different, maybe, hopefully. But when you see it going kind of like, yep, here comes the crescendo, and we know what happens after the crescendo. They bust it out. They try to make it work. And then that's it. At that moment is where I feel like you're trying to evaluate, like, well, is there anything we can recoup? Anything we can get some money back here? Because I know they're going to drop it and walk away from it. I can see it coming. The crescendo's happening. And when that happens, I know it's going to happen. And I see you with the Justice card. You're not saying anything, but you're seeing it. And you care about them. You would really like this to work out, but you see it coming. And you're like, justice is here. I knew this was going to happen. They didn't plan well. I feel like that's justice. I feel like that's your justice angle to this. They didn't plan this well. They just jumped right in. Got really excited. Got really gung-ho. And now they burnt themselves out. They're crescendoing. They're going to that crescendo and there it goes. I don't see you really having a hard time with this, quite frankly. And I don't see you like, you don't want to be the wet blanket for whatever reason. But I do see your partner with the Five of Cups. That's their spiritual card. They're disappointed. Because they wiped themselves out. And it crescendos, and it did. And they're aware of their own pattern, and they're just kind of like, they don't want to do it anymore. Whatever it was they got involved with, they don't want to do it anymore, and they just can't even get themselves to do it. This is internal. This isn't with you, but I'm seeing this. They have the Five of Wands. It's kind of connecting with the Five of Cups when it crescendos and goes. It's internal battle with them. They're having a very hard time with this. They don't. It really. I feel like it's embarrassing. It's upsetting. They didn't want this to happen this way either. They actually are very optimistic too. But I see them moving on from it. I see them kind of battling it, kind of like, should I hold on? Should I try to get back into it? Will I get into it later? But I feel like the reality is, once it's crescendo, they're done. And they have to literally just accept that it's over so you can recoup some of the money if there was money spent. But basically, they're very conflicted about this. They don't really want to give up on the situation, but the truth is they're done. And I see the gate there. The garden, the gate, it's kind of like time to move on from it, because I really feel like their interest in it has just crescendoed and it's done. They're over it. They don't want to do it anymore. What I'm seeing here as their challenge card is, it feels like if there was some money spent, it's kind of letting you take the wheel and getting some money back, selling some supplies to other people, getting the money back, recouping the money as best as you can, giving this stuff back, letting it go, moving on from the situation. Because I feel like if you can recoup the money, like at least 90% of it, 80 to 90% of it, I feel like you're kind of like, well, it's fine. They had a moment. It really wasn't that expensive. They tried. At least they tried. Didn't really cost us that much. We got to recoup some of the money. I'm over it. It's fine. That's their challenge card, though. Some of you are going to have partners that don't want to let go, and they're kind of going to be like, let's just hide it in the back of the attic, just in case I come back to it. Let's hide it in the back of the garage, or up in the attic, or in some storage space, just in case I come back to it. Some of them are going to want to, and I feel like the best thing here is to actually just sell things off, get rid of things, let it go, because I don't see them coming back to it. I actually feel, ironically, they're kind of shocked at their own actions, kind of like this happened again. And that woman holding a heart is kind of like, they're off to the next thing. They're interested in something else. That's interesting. That quickly? No, I feel like they're interested in something else. I feel like their heart is going somewhere else, and I feel like that might make this easier for you to get rid of this stuff if there's anything that needs to be sold, because I feel like they're going in a different direction, and I feel like you can actually even angle that if that's the case, because I feel like that's what's happening. They're going towards something else. That woman holding a heart is like new interest, going towards something else, looking back and like, well, that failed, and they're upset about that, but they don't want to deal with this tower. Like, I feel like they're very ashamed of it, almost embarrassed. And it's like, I just feel like they were completely shocked at them. I don't know how they can be shocked, but it seems like they are. And they don't want to deal with it. And they're off to the next thing. And I feel like what you're saying is like, well, if we get the money back from this, I guess we can invest in that. But you got to get some of the money back from this at least. That could go to your angle. That could go well for you. I don't see you aggressively going towards that, but just saying you'd have the money for this next venture. If you sell back this stuff, you can use that money. You can use that money to sell this stuff off, sell it back. And then you can go towards that venture. I see what's helping you. You're supportive. You're giving ideas, but you're not pushing. I don't see you pushing, but I see you advising. That's with the Page of Swords here. Because you're not really pushing, but you're advising. You're like, this is what I would do. If you want to do that, you can get the money to do that by selling that stuff. It's up to you. Do what you want to do. If you want to save that, then fine. But don't invest more money in this next venture unless you're going to get rid of that stuff. And then you can use that money for that. It's more advising. It's not really pushing. So I don't know if that's coming off that way. I feel like for the majority of you who are drawn to this reading, I feel like it's just kind of reinforcing what you kind of already know. I feel like it's reinforcing what you kind of already know. I also see that a lot of you who are seeing this come in, hopefully, I feel like, for example, if there's going to be money invested in this venture, whatever this is, this original one, trying to curtail that, trying to hold back not too much money going out to that, not too much money. And I feel like you're gonna try to be optimistic, but you're like, start small and then we'll build from there and we'll add more things later. And I feel like directing it that way, you seem to be listened to. Let's start small. Just get the basic things. Because I feel like you can kind of dial it back with how much is spent into the situation if that's what happens. Just it makes it better for both of you. Because I feel like it just reels it back a bit. Doesn't make it as bad for your partner, whoever they are. Reel it back a bit, and then when it's time to sell things off, if that's what happens, which it kind of feels like for a lot of you that's what's going to happen, it's not as difficult. It's not as much of an issue. I just feel like it's a lot less stress on you. They move on to their next thing. That's how it is. And that's the message for this one. Okay. It's very interesting because I feel like they're just giving you a heads up to something. I really feel like you already know this. So I'm curious, like, if that helped, how that helped. Because it feels like you already knew it, it's just reinforcing or making you feel better about getting them to dial it back. Because you don't want to be a wet blanket, maybe. You don't want to be pessimistic, but realizing it's going to play out the same way anyway. It's the right thing to do. All right, let's go into Virgo singles. What do we have for Virgo singles? Messages for Virgo singles. What do we have for single Virgos? All right, single Virgos. What do we have for you guys? What do we have for single Virgos? Stop. I'm getting to stop right off the bat. Okay. 3. All right, single Virgos. You got heartbreak in the past. Now, when I'm seeing heartbreak in the past, I'm not... well... Did they break your heart? No, I don't feel that. I feel like I think you're looking at this person as a callous person. Like, when they want to be nice, they're very nice, very sweet. But when they're not, they're a nightmare. They're one of those people. When they're good, they're great. When they're bad, they're horrifying. Horrible. And I feel like with the 3 of Swords in your past, you're viewing this person and you're looking at their history. And this is bothering you because you're like, if this goes south, if this goes bad, if this doesn't go well, it's going to be a nightmare. And I feel like this person coming towards you is a little bit combative. They are. That's my first thought. That's interesting. Because I'm getting the Page of Cups. Nope, that is the Knight of Cups. Excuse me. But is that the crown chakra? No, that's the third eye chakra. Okay. They seem to know that you're not really impressed with them. They're coming towards you, and I feel like they know you're not impressed with them, and I feel them coming at you a little bit aggressively. With you got the 5 of Wands here, with the 3 of Pentacles. This is quite the interesting way to try to start something with somebody. Like, starting something off with a fight just does not seem like the best idea, but that's what's coming towards you. Oh, okay. All right. I'm seeing this other card I did not see, because I'm like, why is this even considered? I don't get it, but I'm seeing a card over here for you. We'll talk about that in a second. This person is like arguing their case. I shouldn't say pleading their case. Arguing their case with 5 of Wands. And they're trying to get you to work it out with them. Like, give me a chance. You can't judge me like this. You don't understand what that was about. You don't understand what was pent up or what I had to go through. Blah, 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 and all that stuff. Not to play that down, but I'm trying to bust up the energy a little bit because it's getting kind of aggressive is what I'm feeling. And I'm questioning, like, why are you even putting up with this? This is why. You got this where you're standing. You do like this person. You would like to think better of them. And they're aggressively telling you their side of the story. Like, you don't know what I had to go through. There was a lot going on there. Like, if you had to live through that too, you'd be angry too. And I feel this energy coming at you. And you do like them. Like, they are, well, you find them attractive. Let's at least go that way. You find them attractive. The aggressiveness, that could be, I don't know about that. But you do find them attractive. There are qualities about them you do like. And they're coming at you aggressively. They're trying to work it out with you. Really trying to work it out with you. You got a couple cards here. At the top, you got the Three of Cups with the Temple Path. I feel like you know people in common that makes this a little bit more sticky. That's how this feels. There's more people connected between the two of you. Makes it a little bit more sticky. But what I'm getting here at the bottom is the Page of Cups. They're winning you over enough for you to kind of think about this. They're winning you over enough to really kind of consider, like, am I really looking at this too harshly? What I do know is that, really, do I just know a piece of the puzzle? Should I not be judging this? But then another part of you goes, wait a minute, no, I should. It's good to have a heads up. Wait a minute, no, it is. It's not bad that I know this stuff. But you're looking at it, you're inspecting it. You got the Eight of Pentacles, and in this deck, it's a very, like, looking at the details, looking at the fine print. And you're kind of like, there's a bit here that could go well, but I don't know. Like, I understand this is how this person feels, and they feel very justified, but that's not why I'm upset, or why I'm put off with this. I'm put off because of how intense it gets when they are upset. I'm not saying they didn't have a right to be upset. I'm just saying the way it came out, the way it was ended, the way it was played out, it was very aggressive and very unpleasant. But you're trying to, like, you're looking at it, you're giving it a shot, you're thinking it over. But this is sticky. I feel like this is sticky. There's people you know in common. And I'm getting there's more problems to come, which seems to go in a bevy of ways. But basically, you got the Moon card with the storm warning. There's problems brewing around you. There's people telling you this is not a good idea. Don't do this. You're going to regret it. And I feel like it's bothering you because you're just like, I don't know what to really think. I want to think better of this person. They pled their case. Well, they didn't plead their case. They argued their case with me. They really, gave me some information that I didn't know before, but people around you, it's a very sticky situation. There's a lot of people around you saying, don't do this. This is a bad idea. The storm warning. They're saying, no, this is going to be bad. This is not a good idea. The last two cards here. You got the Emperor with the Four of Cups. I feel like you're kind of abstaining from making a decision. I feel like you're kind of telling this person, let's just take it slow, and you're hoping they'll kind of just fade off. Because you're looking at this and you're like, I don't want any more problems with this person. I don't want to get argued with again. But you're kind of like, I feel like you're kind of giving into them a little bit, but not too much. It seems like you're kind of just trying to get along with everybody, and you're kind of fighting with your own feelings. Like, I don't know what to do with this. It does seem like it could be a very passionate affair, but my friends are warning me, like, when it falls apart. Your friends, I feel like your friends are saying it's not if, it's when. And they're saying it's going to be horrible, don't do this. And you're conflicted, and you're just kind of like, but I kind of want to just give this a shot. But my friends do have a good point, and I would tell other people the same thing. And I feel like that's the hardest part. That's the real kick in the butt. You're like, if you were advising somebody else about this person, you would tell them not to do it. You'd say, don't go there. And you're questioning, like, why am I considering this if I would tell somebody else not to do this? That Four of Cups is telling me you're not really making a decision. And you're really not happy with the situation as a whole. You don't really know what to do with it. I'm not seeing a resolution here. I'm seeing like you're getting stuck at this point, and it's kind of like no matter what you do, it's kind of like no matter what choice you made, it's either going to say no to this person, you're going to have to deal with their temper because they're going to be upset that you didn't even give them a shot, or if you go with them, there's a good chance it's just going to last so long, and then you're going to have to deal with it anyway. But you're questioning, like, is that true, or could something really happen here? I think it's going to depend on your case personally, quite frankly. So I'm going to end this here. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, I can send you my pricing list. Go ahead, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. It's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.